My younger self always said that I was trapped in a girl's body, or I was like born wrong. But as I grew up, I was like, I didn't think this was my story. This was supposed to be my journey. It was a journey that I was supposed to go on so that I could then be a voice for other people.
Yep.
And yeah, changing the whole stuck, born wrong.
Yeah.
Like you're not a problem.
It's
like,
got a
nobody messed
negative
up.
connotation.
yeah, nobody
in
messed
it,
up.
right?
So
No,
that.
Yeah, I wish
Understanding that.
more trans people understood that.
Yeah.
Too. I really wish more trans people understood that. Like, there's nothing went wrong. Like,
Yeah.
this is not a problem.
He's like,
He's just hiding behind the light.
Like, bro, what?
Hello, welcome to She Comes with Baggage. I am so excited for y'all to be here right now. This is crazy, like a little reunion.
I'm happy to be here.
I
It feels
know.
good to be with you guys, honestly. I'm
It's
not gonna
insane.
lie.
It's been, I mean, it hasn't been a year, but it's been like, what,
Almost.
8 months? 9 months now?
Yeah, since DC Pride.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
last June.
yeah, which is crazy. So we needed this reunion before we have a
Yeah,
proper reunion.
before
in
we actually
June.
show up and
exactly
turn up at DC.
Yeah.
So we actually met last year at DC Pride, which was amazing in itself. I don't know. I felt like when I first met y'all, it was an instant connection. I was
yeah,
like,
it
these are the guys
it
I'm
didn't
hanging
take
out with
long.
all day.
It
Yeah.
didn't take
and we
long
were
at
like
all.
front row with Kiki Palmer, and we were like taking videos, and it was such a vibe.
Crazy.
Honestly,
Yeah.
we gotta have that again this
Yeah,
year.
it took me
Yeah.
a minute to realize I've like followed y'all on years prior to that, and I didn't know that was y'all. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, this is.
It's like a full circle moment.
It's
yeah,
true.
It was one of those moments.
I feel like with social media, sometimes I forget the people like that I follow are real people. You know what I mean? Like
Until you're in the
and-
room with them.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you're so cool. Like, you're vibing.
Exactly, you're a real person. It's actually funny. I think I told you when I met with you in DC that my sister actually has been following you for years, and
Oh,
she
wow.
loves you. She's literally like, she was the one that sent me your page, and she was like, oh my god, check him out, he's amazing. Like the story,
that's
I was
so
like, oh my god,
awesome.
this is so sick. So when I saw you in DC Pride, I was like, wait, I feel like I already know you. I know your story. So like, my sister has a little crush on you, but I was like, she's gonna be so pissed that I'm telling you this right now. But
And then we meet her
Don't
in
worry.
DC Pride.
yeah. So I told her, she was so excited that y'all were gonna be here too. And I was just telling you before, I might be like bringing her out to DC this year,
gonna be
and
amazing.
it'll be sweet. She's like a big advocate, so
That's
I
awesome.
for the
I love
community. So I
that.
was like, we could bring her in and be the photographer, you know?
Which is like something that she probably didn't think she'd get to do. Just like him being invited to DC Pride. Like the reason I was there is because he was like, come along. He's
Yeah.
always inviting me to everything, making sure I'm a part of it. So, and that was my first Pride. So
Yeah,
That was your
like,
first
that was
Pride?
my first Pride. So that was like a
What?
good like first Pride for me.
Okay.
Met some great people, and yeah, I just never thought that is what life could be like, what you could experience.
For sure.
So to be able to do it alongside him, and
It's amazing.
yeah, it was
Have you been to another
Unbelievable.
Pride since?
no.
No. Okay, so
No.
and you've been to Portland Pride,
I've been
right?
to a ton of prides. Yeah, I've
Since
been
the-
to,
si- yeah,
Well,
okay,
yeah,
you've been
since
to a few.
DC, yes, yeah,
Yeah.
just Portland.
Okay, that's awesome. I feel like with Pride, I mean, look, I'm sensitive. I know I have tattoos and shaved hair, but I cry a lot. And like every time I'm at a
Same.
Pride, I'm literally like sobbing. I'm like all the moms with the free mom hugs. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
Like,
I got to hug. Yeah, I got to hug a dad.
Did you?
That was
It
it
gets
felt
you.
good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I love it. Well, y'all's friendship, I think that what drew me to y'all automatically was like y'all's friendship radiates so much joy. How did y'all meet? When did this friendship start?
Oh snap! Wait, so I followed Dominic. I don't know when I followed you, but I followed him because I was like, yo, like this is what I want. I want to be able to like feel this comfortable.
Okay.
At least from what I saw on his page, like he was just a happy guy who was just like, look, this is who I am.
Yep.
And I think, what were you gonna make a drive to move to LA? And
no, I was coming for the No Hate campaign shoot.
the No Hate
Yeah.
campaign,
Okay.
yeah, and he invited me to that, which crazy enough is like something that like I knew about when I was younger.
Okay.
So when he said that, I was like, "What the? Yeah, I'm down." And that's actually that's when I first met you, and I met a few other trans creators that I
Okay.
thought I'd never be in the room with, and it wasn't awkward. It felt like I was hanging out with friends, and that was
Yeah.
my first time. I mean, I met them all at the same time,
That's
which I think
crazy.
was actually perfect. But me and him, it was like we knew each
Yeah,
other.
it was
Like
That's
when we were
crazy.
in that moment, we're just like laughing.
It was like
And-
connection.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
very, and I was like, "Oh, this is solid." Like,
Yeah.
didn't want to leave because I felt like, I don't know, I never experienced like that type of joy, and
Okay.
then feeling like I had known you forever.
Those are the best kinds of friendships, though. It's like almost like, not to sound really cheesy or anything, but like fated almost. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the kind of friendships that really just inspire you and like kind of change the trajectory of life a little bit. Like those are the kinds of people that I love being around. I feel like I mean, I know we had only met that one time, but even right
No,
now, I
we
feel
could-
like
it's like natural.
this is
like, it's
naturally,
like,
yeah,
it just
absolutely,
flows.
exactly. What would be one of your favorite memories with y'all together?
I think it would be the casino era that we were in.
Does anybody even know about the casino era that we were in? Because that
It was a flop, but it was like it's such an interesting time.
yeah, it was.
There was this casino, this poker player, but he was like hiring
Heffron?
us
No,
both
not
to like go to the casino and like film him and shoot him, and it was just like a new thing that we were both. I've never done anything like that before.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I'm used to creating my own content. But
Yeah.
that was like I was doing it for somebody else in a
Okay.
whole new state. And it was just, we would get paid in poker chips. Like,
yeah.
it was such
At the end
a
of the night,
weird-
he would just like give us poker chips,
Stop.
which is
Wait,
like
that's
just
amazing.
felt so.
It was like a proper casino. Y'all were
Yeah.
actually wow.
He's like super big. Like
He's
fa-
huge.
he's like
Okay.
famous in the casino
Yeah.
world. but
Wait,
I don't
that's
know.
Oh wait,
amazing.
how we met him? Like I don't think anyone knew we had that era, and it was
Yeah, it
That's
was-
crazy.
very adventurous.
That's crazy.
in my
That was
opinion.
that was when I first moved here. Actually,
Yeah, that was when you first moved here.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
That's funny because one of my best friends, I met him when I was, I don't know, like 19 years old. I had just moved to San Francisco. It was when I just like officially came out. He runs I guess it's like a traveling casino company, and we met in an elevator. I was like carrying these trays because I was passing out hors d'oeuvres, and he was like, "You want a job?" I was like, "I'm always looking to hustle." I was like, he gave me his card, and I started working for him at like a traveling casino company.
That's
So that's kind of
crazy.
crazy. And then
That's
now
cool.
we're like best friends. Like, but the same thing. It's like, don't talk to
Yeah.
him in an elevator or something. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
just
I'm
rent-
like,
yeah.
You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
you know, you gotta
right.
put
Exactly.
yourself out there a little.
And there's
No,
a big thing of like
absolutely.
carrying around your camera alone is like
True.
marketing, which we didn't expect that, but like people
like
are gonna,
free advertising.
people are interested
Yeah.
when they see someone with a camera. They're like, "What do you do?"
No, for
they want to
sure.
know. So yeah, that was a good.
That's
freaking
cool.
moment for
I love
sure.
that. I love that. Well, I would love to learn a little bit about y'all's upbringing and how that influenced who y'all are today. Something from your childhood and maybe your family. What's that experience like?
When I was in high school, I lost my best friend to suicide, and in that moment, like being a teenager, being like going to 17, it's like you really don't know what to do in that moment or like how to keep moving forward. And I think the one thing that kept me going was that I was a part of like the theater program, and I was just discovering that I love acting, and he also was in theater too.
Okay.
So it was like my own personal like motivation to like get to where we both dreamed of getting to.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's kind of shaped my entire life because it's like I made it through that moment.
Yep.
So I don't want to waste making
Sure.
it through that moment
Yeah.
and like all the pain and suffering and feeling like I just wasn't going to survive. Like since I'm here, I'm like, okay, you have a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
You must have a bigger
Yeah.
purpose. You know,
Kind of created your core.
yeah,
Like your why.
Yeah,
In a way.
and it made me
yeah.
love on family and friends more.
Yeah.
It made me be grateful for the time that I have here. You know, and so I was like, do things, create.
Yeah.
You know, and then also it allowed me to understand why it's important to shine a light on like suicide prevention, especially being a trans guy. You know, it's like okay, there are a lot of topics there to talk about.
Sure.
And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm living for him too.
That's
and that's
beautiful,
made me
yeah.
feel like I have a special connection with life.
Yeah, no,
and
sure.
that's one thing that I brought up to Dominic when we first met. It was a little bit scary for me because he reminded me of him.
Okay.
And I was like, dang, it's kind of hard to, like, am I ready to feel this again?
Yeah.
You know, which I'm grateful that I didn't give up. But I was open about
Yeah.
it, and yeah, so it was just I don't know, just being reminded that like you're here, you have a bigger purpose, and you know, make everything count.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. Though.
And so yeah, it's been like my motivator.
Yeah, being able to take that moment that is something that will undoubtedly be with you forever, right? And that those memories that you have built with that person
Yeah.
is going to be a part of every single person you
Yes.
meet, right? Every new friendship you've created, every new project you work on, right? That's really beautiful that you were able to, you know, take that and carry it with you in all the things that you do now and make
Yeah.
something beautiful out of it. And I appreciate you opening up about
Yeah,
that.
no,
too.
I'm learning to be more open with that.
Yeah.
Because I was very closed off
Sure, yeah.
earlier. And I've noticed that the more that I talk about it and share it, it's actually like I'm releasing a little bit of pain
Right.
and hurt, and I'm allowing people to be there for me.
Sure,
Like, how
yeah.
would they know? You
Yeah.
know? And
Absolutely. It's also carrying on the memory, right? And
exactly.
inspiring, using that memory to inspire others too, which is really incredible.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Where's your...
I'm from Houston.
You're
I'm
from Houston.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What was your experience like in Houston? Is it... I know it's a little... I mean, Texas is crazy, you know, just probably different. I'm from Tennessee originally, and like it... I know Texas is a different style of the South. Would you consider it to be...
I feel like it's like, I mean, you know, right now they're like trying to, you know, make being trans a felony. So it's kind of, I think it's like pretty not progressive.
Yeah.
In a way.
No,
But,
absolutely.
I mean, I guess like I had a pretty good family. Like
That's good,
nobody,
yeah.
I guess I had like a good acceptance.
That's good, that's good.
And all the good things. But I just like, I guess had a different kind of lifestyle. Like,
Yeah.
Normal kids were going to school. I was on the streets. You know, doing things that I really shouldn't be doing at the age, but
Sure, yeah. And where, if you don't mind me asking, where you're both of, like, what's your cultural backgrounds?
black and white.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just black.
Okay.
I know that like my family always says Cherokee Indian.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad's from Queens, New York,
Okay.
and my mom's from DC.
Right, okay.
I was born in Virginia.
All right.
Word.
That's all over the place too, right? And
Yeah.
also there's still like southern roots to both of y'all too, right? Which
Yeah.
is kind of interesting.
I found out, and don't quote me, but my dad told me that my great grandfather is like on the coin.
Oh.
Like
What?
Like he's
You didn't
somebody.
know that.
I didn't know that.
So I was like, that's crazy. So that's why
Okay.
now I bring up Cherokee Indian because I'm like, let me do something for him,
Sure,
you know.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm learning more
Okay,
about
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm learning a lot about
Yeah.
my family history. And,
yeah.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
it's like a ever evolving thing. Like I feel like I'm still learning about my family history as well. Where I'm
Yeah.
like some things I'm also, you go on ancestry.com or like 23andMe and I'm like, how accurate
Yeah, I've
is
never done
this?
that, but I'm like, is it
it accurate? And then I'm also like, do I spit in a tube and like send out my
Yeah.
DNA? I don't know, but I'm tempted. You know, sometimes who knows? But it's
Yeah. I
interesting.
really want
It's
to.
still fascinating to learn about it. Is there ever a defining moment in your self discovery that you can kind of trace back to? I know you had mentioned your friend that had passed away, unfortunately, that was kind of a pivotal moment for you. Is there another time in your self discovery where you're like light bulb moment? Like for me, it took me till I had gone to college and ended up having my first experience with a girl and being like, wait, what is this? Because where I'm from, there was no representation at all. There was absolutely no representation when it comes to what queer is. And no one was open about what queer is other than it being the most awful thing, right? And so I was like, oh, good thing that's not me, right? That's
Yeah.
not me. I'm not like this terrible person. And when that happened to me, it was a discovery moment where I was like, shit, like now it makes me have to go back and think, am I this awful person that people have been talking about this whole time? Like, you know, I feel like I try to live my life with kindness and love. And how do I pair that with all these narratives that people say about
Yeah.
who I am, right? And so I had to move to San Francisco. I thought moving to San Francisco, I could start my life over as a straightie. It didn't happen.
Nah.
I didn't know San Francisco was the gay capital of the world.
You're
so
right.
that was a different pivotal
The
moment.
universe was
but
like, we gonna get her.
yeah. Oh, exactly. They were like, we're gonna get her there one way or another. Yeah. But I was just curious if there was, you know, like a pivotal moment or like something that you can put a finger on where you're like, light bulb moment. This is my self-discovery journey.
I feel like
Like,
for me in high school, I didn't know nothing about the trans community or what it was to be transgender. You're gay, you're bi, you're straight, and I didn't fit any, but like I was like, okay, I gotta figure this out. And I also didn't really understand, and I felt very uncomfortable the way that you'd be made fun of or you know, like in a high school way.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, let me figure out why I don't like guys. Let
Okay.
me try, you know? And it was almost like funny in the moments that I would like attempt to and be like, there's no connection, there's no nothing.
Sure.
But I think my like wake up moment was when I found this YouTube video. I forgot his name, but it was the first YouTube video where I found a trans guy.
Okay.
And the way he was expressing how he would feel and the things he was going through. And I was just like it was almost like I was reborn again. I said, yo, I just met someone who just took everything and like put it out.
It all made sense.
And
yeah.
then I said, okay, I'm still terrified to bring it up.
Sure.
But I was like, I feel a little more like I can be here. I feel like I'm not weird or like there's nothing wrong with me. And he was so happy.
Yeah.
Like so happy. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know
Yeah.
how. I don't know where I'm going to start. But like he was my blueprint of like, okay, he made it. He made me one, but that one is like worth a million.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that was my wake up moment. And then
That's
I
incredible.
kind of just was like, he said, live life, be true to yourself. So I'm like, okay, let me
Do
talk
those
to my
baby
brother
steps.
first. You
Yeah.
know, like, I don't know. I think this is what I am. So
Do
that
you
was a
know
wake up moment.
what year was that? Like give
That
or
was
take?
2009 or 10.
All the years of mixing together.
I
for whatever
graduated
people are like.
2011.
Okay,
So
okay.
I remember it was Skylark11 who that was the YouTuber for me that like that was my I was like 12 years old like googling I feel like
Okay.
a boy trapped in a girl's body.
Yeah.
And this YouTuber pops up. He's like talking about how he feels and like his experiences and what he's doing and what he's gonna do. I'm just like watching through his videos and I felt like this is like I can relate to this.
Yeah.
But yes, his name was Skylark11. He
Okay.
doesn't make YouTube videos anymore.
Not
but
anymore.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
like he was the one that like pretty much just like helped me like figure out what I
Give some
feel.
direction.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fascinating with you know, all the social media that's kind of come and go over the years, but I feel like YouTube was really a go-to for a lot of people. Like for myself too, it was like my first time ever seeing a lesbian couple. Like,
Yeah.
and they were like you said, joy. Like there was so much
Yeah.
joy, which I had never seen that because people had told you all the time, like you're not gonna achieve this. You're not
Yeah.
gonna. You know, you don't deserve to be happy because of like this thing that you're going through. And I was like, what? Like, and so I think YouTube was one of these moments where I was like connecting with people. And I used to literally binge watch these couples where I was like, I'm obsessed. Like, who are these people? I would just watch them watch TV. I would watch them like play Truth or Dare, like random things, like mundane things.
It was
where I was
feeding
like,
your heart without you even knowing because you were
yeah.
seeing something where you were like, you could relate
True.
without, knowing fully. So
That's fascinating.
Oh,
I feel like
no
there's so
idea.
many more now. You know what I mean? Which
I
is
watch-
y'all. I mean, y'all are.
There
That is
actually
y'all
are.
now. You know what I mean? I feel
Yeah.
like, which is kind of cool. I don't know if you think about it this way, but there's somebody out there that watch y'all's videos,
You
and
know,
y'all are that person for them, which is cool.
it's crazy to think that we are, at least for me,
Mm-hmm.
because I had that one guy that I watched, and now I feel like these generations have so many, and that makes me happy. So it's like it makes
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
me want to post more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are all different in our own ways,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like different generations can be like, oh, yeah, he reminds me of myself. Especially being on like a TV show and more people being able to see me. It's like they're like, oh, you look like me, and
Yeah.
you are here, and you're happy, and you. I mean, I'm not always happy, but I can be happy,
Yeah.
and I can try my best to find things that bring joy to me.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's given the younger generation hope.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, he did it.
There's an option, yeah.
And then look, they're friends. Like people love our friendship.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I
And
literally, I love y'all's
and that makes you feel
friendship.
good because it's like
I'm like, can I
love
come
my
sit
friendship.
there right in the middle of y'all? Like, shit.
Right.
Y'all left plenty of space for me to sit there. Well, I don't know why we put the mic so far apart. I'm like, yeah, we could be in there. But no, that's beautiful. I feel like same. When I look back and people are like, what's your why? Why do you do what you do? I always try to remember, like, I want to be the representation that I didn't have growing up. And I
Yeah.
want to show someone, just even one person, that it's okay to be who you are fully, right? And like having no like setbacks from that. Because I feel like, I don't know, it's like you said, the option of just being happy is not talked about all the time. Where I'm like, no, we can
Yeah.
build amazing lives, and we can really become best friends with people and chase the careers just like every other person. So I feel like putting ourselves out there is like it's pretty cool though. And also like being connected with other people. We all met through technically social media, but also social media is what brought us all together, which is
And they don't show. I feel like the way they show our community is, it's always like something bad going down.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, we are going through a lot, but we
Yeah.
also laugh
Yeah.
and we have a good time and we want better for ourselves.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
they don't show that. So social media is where people get to see that. They get to
True.
see our platforms and what we do and how we have our ups and downs, but we're still here and
Yeah.
we're still trying. So that's
No,
why
it's
I
true.
love that we do what we do in
I
general.
don't know if y'all ever watched the Disney Channel growing up. Again, I'm a nerd.
I'm
This
a
is my
nerd.
nerd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever we all posted at DC, I remember people would like slide in our DMs and be like, "This is like Disney crossovers. All
Yeah.
my favorite creators are all
Yeah.
hanging out
It's the
together."
coolest compliment
like,
ever.
right? I was like, you know,
Yeah,
I was like, okay, this is the Disney Channel now. Like,
that
we're
was
taking
so
over.
good. Hey, clip that. That was amazing.
What about family? If you don't mind talking about family, what about your transition journey? How did that impact your relationships with family?
I mean, my family's pretty chill. Like my parents were both accepting, but they just weren't ever actually there. Like it's
Yeah.
easy to say like I accept you, but it's hard to be an actual parent, like make sure that I'm like, you know, growing up like a fucking normal human being and not like crash out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But aside from that, like the rest of my family they're not really accepting at all. But I mean, I don't really like you know, never really had my family there in the first place, so it doesn't really do much for me mentally. It's just kind of like I was born through them, and now I'm here though.
Right. It's
No
kind of
thanks,
like chosen family is like a new
basically.
thing. Yeah. I get that.
That's where I feel like that's where we're different in the sense of as far as our family, because like I'm like my family's all up in my grill,
Really?
right? And I
Okay,
love it. So coming out and expressing to them that I'm trans was scary because of their backgrounds in religion.
Okay.
But they're so loving, so I was like, okay, you can do this.
Yeah.
And I did it one at a time.
Okay.
And I think for my siblings have supported me through everything. Whatever I say I'm going through, whatever I am.
That's amazing.
It's different stages because, you know, in high school, I don't know about being trans. So I'm like, I guess I'm this. And they're like, look, we love you. We in there, right? But my parents, I was nervous for because I feel like they didn't have any knowledge on, you know, the trans community, what it is to be transgender. And neither did I. So expressing that to them, it was very hard.
Right.
But what I have learned in this whole journey, and I am in a wonderful place with my parents, like wonderful.
That's great. I love that.
Is just talking to them.
Yeah.
Like, how are they going to know?
Yeah.
They could research, but like, I feel like conversation with me, who's going through it,
True.
and them being around me
Yeah.
and being around you. Like, my mom came out here and she loves Dominic. And it's like, it's almost like it's a black wall in front of them. They don't know. So it's like, how are they going to know? Be around it, talk about it more.
Yeah.
Send them stories, send them posts. Like, and with that time, it's like, okay, my mom's like, oh, I didn't know this offended you. I didn't know this was, I shouldn't say this. And now, I mean, I never in a million years would think that I'd be where I'm at with my family.
I love that.
I'm so grateful. So very grateful.
Yay, I
them so
love it.
much.
I
Yeah.
feel like with Christine's mom, it was similar, like coming from more of a religious background. You know, Christine is Mexican, Chinese, and Peruvian. So she has a lot
didn't know
of
that.
cultural, you know, traditions and religious background. And so her parents, same thing. It was harder for them to understand, especially because Christine's first generation American on both sides of her family. So there's also the language barrier and trying to explain to them when there weren't resources when Christine came out at 11. So, you know, trying to explain that to them, it was really difficult. But over the years, and then her parents then seeing her happy in different ways was what allowed them to be like, oh, like, I think a lot of their fear was more of like, I just want to make sure you're safe, and I just want to make sure you're good, and you live a full and happy life. And at the time, they thought that was just with, that means either being with a man or living this like American dream checklist, right?
Yeah.
But over time, you're like, no, I mean, you can live a full and happy life in different ways, right?
I mean, look at y'all.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. It was me, you know. Let's be honest. Like, I'm the favorite now. So.
I love y'all.
No, I was just joking. But I think, you know, especially when we travel, I feel like that's part of the reason why we love traveling is because, you know, you're constantly meeting people of different backgrounds, cultures, religions, people that have different traditions, values, everything. And I feel like, you know, the more that I meet different people of all walks of life, the more it really opens, it always humbles me. I'm like, I'm always wanting to learn, you know, because I feel like people fear what they don't know, right? And that's where the fear is what triggers hate. And it's like, you wouldn't hate if you just genuinely sat down and had a conversation. And you realize we laugh over the same things. We might order the same coffee. You know, like we are the same in a lot of ways. Like there's so much more to all of us that makes us alike than we are different. So I feel like, yeah, I mean, I think that just having those conversations, especially like this, is why this podcast is so important to me. It's opening up that dialogue and those conversations to make everyone realize it's like, again, those Disney crossovers, we're all like, you know, we're all one and the same. You know, my sister, the one I was telling you about, is like my ride or die. You know, she, you know, she's been with me through everything. She was the one I was like, hey, I think I'm gay. She's like, bitch, I know. I was like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you fucking tell me? Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty cool. And I think that everyone's journey with coming out in different forms of their identity is, it's different. Do you think that there will ever become a time where we don't have to have a coming out conversation, or do you think that it'll just always kind of be there?
Dang.
I think it'll always
I
kind of
think
be
it's
there.
yeah.
Yeah. So I want to ask y'all about the love life Are you currently dating? Are you
I am
seeing?
dating.
Yes, I know you are.
Why are you gonna point out
It just
me?
makes me happy. It just makes me
And
so
also,
happy.
just like dating.
I am
What,
dating.
what are some dating advice for all of us out
Dating
here? Yeah.
advice. Fuck. Communication.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's like my number one piece of advice that I feel like I can give anybody. And that's
Yeah.
like not even just for like relationships, like, you know, even for like friendships and stuff
Yeah.
like that. If you're trying to get to know someone, it's
Yeah.
like better to just communicate
Yeah,
versus
yeah,
just
yeah.
like make assumptions and not, I guess, make that space for other people too.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like communication is kind of like what creates the door for trust and intimacy and
Yeah.
all the things
I
that
feel
you
like-
kind of need, right?
I feel like as trans people, I feel like we get scared to communicate and like kind of close. I feel like I close myself off to communicating, or I used to at least. But now I just kind of like, if people are gonna judge me or they're gonna have like a kind of issue with, I guess, who I am, it's like it's not about me. Honestly,
Yeah.
like I'm doing the best that I can, just communicating how
True.
I feel. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you said something before. It's like if you aren't communicating, no one's going to be able to know what you're truly going through
Yeah.
and be able to relate or even have the opportunity to learn. So I feel like, yeah, having that. But yeah, I agree. I feel like I'm always trying to get better at communicating. I'm not the best at it. Like
Same.
I'm an Aries, so I get hot-headed and I'm like, shit, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I learned that in my I was in a 7-year relationship, and that was my last relationship, and she went through all motions of my journey,
Okay.
from not knowing who I was to starting to learn who I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I learned from that relationship is communicating better, because how is she gonna know?
Yeah.
And then also just allowing her to support me.
Yeah.
It's like when you grow up with no support,
That part.
like then you don't know how to accept it, and she was so supportive. Like, yeah, and I feel like in that time, like I couldn't have asked for a better partner at that time, because
Right.
she loved me no matter what. And so she definitely set the bar high, where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be better at communicating. I'm gonna take the support. I'm gonna learn how to just let my emotions out, because I used to not cry. I was just, not that I didn't want to cry. It's just I think I suppressed so much
Yeah.
when I was younger that crying was like, nope. Like, I don't know what a tear is. So like, she helped me cry, and I was like, I'll let that. I'm an emotional guy.
Yeah, I
You know,
love
so-
that. I
but
love
I learned
that.
a lot in that relationship,
That's
that
good.
it's allowed me for my next relationship to just take everything I learned and be the best version of myself, and
good.
also just let people love me.
Yeah.
Like friends and relationship. Just like, yeah, this person loves you for you.
That's
you know?
beautiful,
So,
yeah. Someone who's a family member or a friend that might have just had someone open up about their transition journey, how would you give them a piece of advice on how to become a better supportive person for someone who might be going through a transition journey?
Listening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just listen. Like,
Listen.
be open. Like, you don't have to understand, but trying is better than not at all.
Yeah.
I feel like, like that, just trying, at least trying to understand is better than just like completely
Yeah.
not acknowledging.
Shutting
I've
it
learned
down.
that not everyone's going to understand,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
But
the
it's a
fact that
start.
they're trying,
Yeah.
they're asking questions, or they're allowing you to, like, you're letting them know that I'm a safe space.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing of family and friends letting me know, I don't understand what you're going through, but I'm here for you.
Yeah.
That's a
huge.
big start.
It's huge. I mean, I feel like with all of us, I think the fear also comes from someone just immediately shutting you down
Yeah.
and not even giving you a moment to be authentic to yourself, right? And I feel like that also is what triggers you not wanting to open up, not wanting to cry,
Yeah.
not wanting to show your emotions, not wanting to communicate, right? It's like a trigger, like a domino effect
Yeah.
almost, right? So like having someone just right out of the bat be like, look, I want to learn. I feel like something that's also what Christine's mom does is now, we've been training her, right? In a way, we're training her, like teaching her ways of like all about the LGBTQ plus community. But then now she'll sit down and she'll be like, okay, I have a question. Can you explain to me non-binary? Like, what does this mean? And how can I be better understanding with this? And we'll have a whole conversation with her. And then like 5 days later, she'll call and be like, I heard someone talking about so-and-so at work and I shut it down. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is great. Like,
I
this is
love that.
awesome.
And you
Like,
see how
yeah.
proud
Yeah.
that she felt, because she was supporting y'all even when you weren't around.
Exactly.
And that is one thing that I push
Yeah.
onto my family. Like, support me and speak up for me when I'm not around.
Right,
Like,
right.
even that's just if someone, misgenders me, like,
Yeah.
fix it up.
No,
like, set
yeah,
them
it's
straight,
like
you know?
if you're gonna support me in private, at least support me in public,
Yes,
right? Support me in
yes.
front of everyone. I feel like it speaks volumes,
Yeah.
right? I feel like if you can support someone behind closed doors, it's one thing, but going out and really like just saying I
It's a
got you.
big
Like
difference.
this is huge. What's a green flag in dating that both of you look for, like in love?
Okay, boundaries. Good boundaries. I feel like
Okay.
are a green flag, and that could be like any kind of boundary. Like not
True.
like it could be like how available I am to you, or how available I am to taking care of myself. It's like that could be a boundary too, right? I don't know. That's a good, I guess,
Yeah.
green flag for me is like having boundaries
Yeah,
for
yeah.
yourself and like whatever. Red flag. I don't know. Go green.
I say
Go
green
green,
flag
go
for
green.
me. What I've learned, all the green flags have been just like the amount of love.
Yeah.
Because I needed that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so if you're just loving,
Aura.
Yeah, your aura.
yeah, like
your
that,
aura.
like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could
yeah.
feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I want to be around you.
Yeah.
You know. And then another
Good auras.
calm green flag is just like if you could cook. Because I love food so much.
God,
And if
really.
like cooking is your love language, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're like, count me in.
That's a
I'm
big
good.
thank you. Because then you're like, you're cooking for me and you know I love it, so you really love me.
Yeah, that's a love language.
I feel so welcomed.
Actually, know what? What are your love languages?
I think mine is.
Food.
Food.
I think
love
I'm
it,
like
I love
physical touch,
Yeah,
or just
yeah,
like
yeah.
a like I. If you just like come give me a hug, or you
Yeah.
like just like got a hand on me somewhere, I'm like
No,
I can
same.
breathe.
What do you call like thoughtful, just like small little thoughtful things that you normally? What do you call that?
There's acts of service.
Yeah, acts of
Yeah.
service, yeah.
So little moments that they think
Yeah.
of you throughout the day and like
Yeah,
help you
oh,
out,
that
like
shit.
a rolling day. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like
Light
done.
that up.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm physical touch. I'm literally like just
Okay.
a little pinky.
Yeah, I think
I'm
that's
like,
so. I don't know. I love that. I just feel like I don't know. It's like my person's just.
No, yeah.
You're there.
That's as soon as I meet people, I'm like, I'm a hugger. I
Yeah.
just like I'm just gonna let you know I'm going in for the hug every
Oh
single
yeah,
time.
I always.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
same,
That's
same.
what. Yeah,
Wait,
a red
that's-
flag. I'd say.
I can't think of any red. I mean, I would say bad cook. Like bad cooking is definitely a red flag, but like I don't want to say that. We've already talking about
Yeah,
good cooking.
we're
We have
so
to
much.
say
We're
something
clearly
else.
hungry.
I
No,
am
for
hungry.
red flag, I would say, dang, I don't know if you just have like bad communication skills,
Mm-hmm.
or
Bad
like I
hygiene.
don't do well with like, just like raising your voice.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
I already talk loud,
Okay.
and I've had to work on like my personal controlling like my anger in certain moments, but if someone's giving that to me, I will shut
Yeah.
down immediately.
Yeah.
So it's like I think learning how to like take a moment, step away, breathe,
Yeah.
and then come back.
Yeah.
I don't know how you make that a word in a red flag, but like
That-
learning how to,
I
if you
get
can't
you.
do that, then we're not gonna work.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we don't know how to like step
Good
away.
communication.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's
what-
still a
yeah.
communication
Wait,
for
so
sure.
bad communication.
Bad
is
communication
red
is
flag.
my that's that. I feel like there's
absolutely.
no. It's just gonna be hard
No,
to
for
keep
sure.
it going. So.
Yeah, I get that. I feel like a green flag, if I were to say, would be empathy. I feel like there's nothing that pisses me off more than someone who's just mean or
Yeah.
rude or like it's
Yeah.
something that I get really attracted to people, friendships, co-workers, whatever it is, if they're like good, kind souls. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're also a hugger, extra points.
Oh,
But
and quality time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Spend time with me.
Yeah,
Friends
right.
and family.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I thought this podcast would be great because I'm
Yeah.
like, we'll sit here, we'll be close,
Yes.
and then also some quality time. That's all I need. That's all I need in my
Yes.
life. You know what I mean?
That's good stuff.
If there was something that you wish, anyone could understand about what it means to be trans, what would it be?
It's not just one thing, And
Yeah.
I feel like we're always transitioning. I feel like it's never always just like how I feel about being trans. How I felt when I was 12 is not at all how I feel today. Like I was so closed off. I didn't like this. I thought it had to be this, and a certain kind of way. And now I just feel like, as the older I get, the more comfortable I am with, it not being just one way. And
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I guess that's all.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I would say that my younger self always said that I was trapped in a girl's body, or I was like born wrong. But like as I grew up, I was like, I didn't think this was my story. This was supposed to be my journey. No, I don't. I wish I didn't have to do all the shots and the surgeries and all that. I'd love to, find a quicker way. But like, it was a journey that I was supposed to go on so that I could then be a voice for other people.
Yeah.
And yeah, changing the whole stuck, born wrong.
Yeah.
Like you're not a
Spoiler.
problem.
Yeah.
It's
like,
got a
nobody messed
negative
up. Yeah,
connotation.
yeah, nobody
in
messed
it,
up.
right?
So
No,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I wish
Understanding that.
more trans people understood that.
Yeah.
Too. I really wish more trans people understood that. Like, there's nothing went wrong. Like,
Yeah.
this is not a problem.
Right. It's not inherently there's absolutely nothing wrong.
Because you're already starting
Yeah.
off feeling now that
Yeah.
something's wrong with you, but there's
Right.
not.
Like
and
imagine
so,
if you just like if it was that was never a thing. The whole
Right.
like it being wrong was never a thing. How much more happy trans people
Yes.
would be
Yeah.
and like feel and like even not only trans people but like other people if they didn't think that it was wrong, there
Yeah.
wouldn't be the hate that's there.
It
you know?
almost feels like the rhetoric that comes along with it is like you're already stuck like below, right? First you have to fix yourself and then go for above to reach a normal happy life. And I'm like, no, that's not the case.
Yeah.
Like this is the journey, and that's what makes it so beautiful. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like it's like you said. Whenever you put these like, I'm stuck or anything, it automatically puts this negative pressure that you have to figure out how to get unstuck instead of just enjoying
Yeah.
every piece of who you are, right? Which I think, that's definitely
That's the
definitely.
journey.
I know
Yeah.
both of you had mentioned in the past that you're not necessarily religious, but you are spiritual. What does that mean to both of you?
Yeah, I feel like I feel like all of religion kind of says the same, like similar things, you know? So I like to say that I respect all, beliefs, but as long as I and what I believe in is respected, I have respect for everybody and what they believe in.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And I think I learned more about spirituality like maybe 5-6 years ago, and it was more of how things would align for me, whether that be for like angel numbers or just truly believing that this is going to work out,
Yeah.
and then like it working out because I believed it, and just like words of affirmation, just everything that I have learned about spirituality, it felt
Yep.
so connected to who I am, and I believe it wholeheartedly. So it's like, I don't know, it guides me.
Yeah.
It feels, it feels right. I growing up, I'm, Christian background, but going to church and those experiences for me personally didn't always go so well. I enjoyed the part of being around my family
Okay,
inside those buildings, but I've just never felt so aligned with
For sure.
spirituality like anything else. So
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I grew up in Tennessee where it was very religious, Bible Belt area, right? Everything was tied to some form of religion, and I struggled with it early on because I also recognized that in church is where a lot of people were being taught these negative things to think about others, and I was like, wait a second, I thought this was supposed to be the
Yeah.
place for love, and I just realized that was just those specific places, those specific spaces. That's not all churches. That's not all religions, right? And I also heard someone say the other day, which I loved. They said that all religions are just different languages to talking to whatever higher power is out there, right? We're all speaking just a different language
Yeah.
depending on the religion. I was like, oh, shit.
wow.
That was crazy because I'm the same. I'm spiritual. I believe in the power of positivity. I believe in manifesting. It's something tangible to me. It's something I feel like if I truly put my heart out there, I feel it.
Yeah.
Like I feel the energy. And I think that's also why I love people who inspire me too, because it feels like energy is bouncing back and forth, which is kind of fascinating,
We
right?
got some positive fields, and now we're all together.
Yeah.
All of our energy's flowing, so
Yeah.
it just feels good.
It does. It does. You said angel numbers early. Do you have a favorite angel number?
I don't think I've ever had a favorite angel number. I
Okay,
just
so
like
it's
that
all-
in the moment of like, say, I don't know, just I'm thinking of something, and then immediately see a number. I do a
Fascinating.
quick search, and the first thing I read is what I bring to that topic.
Yep.
And I'm just like, and sometimes it could be like not what I wanted, or
Right.
sometimes it could be exactly, but it guides me.
No, yeah.
And I'm telling you, I'm like, thank you. I'm thinking the license plate numbers and
Yeah.
people's tattoos. And I'm like, hey, I appreciate you. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
it's really grown on me, and it's aligned so well.
Yeah.
So well that it's almost like I'd be crazy to say that I don't believe it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
But I don't
no,
have a
for
favorite
sure.
number. I just
Oh,
feel
they all
really
do.
good when I see them. And
Yeah.
that alone
That's
is
good.
also really awesome to have that
Yeah.
pump of like, dang, that made me feel good. Like, yes, like you just celebrate. And you don't even know what you're celebrating,
For
but
sure.
you're believing it. And so now the universe is like, let's get to work.
No, yeah, like
know?
Christine and I don't know if it's necessarily an angel number, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we always see 1111.
Yeah, that's
And
an angel number.
That's an angel number,
Yeah.
right? And so we always see it, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, look, it's 1111." We're both like 1111.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, see, it's what you make it.
we're like wishes, and
Yeah.
then we like sit, and that's our moment to be present.
See?
And then afterwards, we're like, "Did you you done?" And we're like, "All right, we'll go about our day." But it's like we drop everything we're doing. Like I'll be in the other room, and she'll be like 1111. I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
coming.
see?
Like,
Y'all
it's
made that your
crazy.
own thing, and that
Yeah, yeah,
alone,
yeah.
you're adding, you're basically like speaking that to existence just by taking a moment to both have y'all moment.
For sure. For sure.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's also, I feel like, because we all live crazy busy lives, it's so easy to forget what our purpose is sometimes and like what truly drives us, where our passions really are. So having those little moments, like you said, like if you're driving and you see an angel number in the car or like on a sign or something, you're like, oh yeah, I'm regrounded. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
a little
cool. That's
reminder.
cool.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that.
nice.
How has your connection with spirituality been a part of your healing journey? Because I feel like, and I could be wrong, but all of us, are all always healing as we go. As we're growing, we're all simultaneously growing because we're healing a part of ourselves. Do you feel like spirituality has helped you with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
feel like, spirituality is like one of the whole, like, one of the reasons why I believe, like, this is not a mistake. It's because of spirituality. Like, that was spirituality that helped me, figure out, I guess, come to terms with myself. And, like,
For
this
sure.
is- nothing's wrong or something. I don't know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like cracked.
No,
I'm cracked right now.
No, you're
no,
good.
that's-
You're good.
It's true.
Same.
No, I feel like as far as with my journey, yeah, it's allowed me to say like I had a bigger purpose.
Yeah. For sure.
And that I'm on my own journey, and whatever people take from my journey is,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope it gives them some type of direction. It helps them believe.
For sure.
And it's just all around just made me feel like
Feel good.
I want to be my best self.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like
really-
when I truly just at my core don't feel good, it's like, again, it's like an energy thing where I'm like, I also attract other things that don't feel good. And I feel like I have to I gotta change my mindset. One of my favorite quotes is, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got, which is like, if I continue to be in this negative headspace, I'm gonna continue getting these negative results. And I feel like that's something I always have to remind myself.
Yes.
Sometimes it feels good to be a little sad though, you know what I mean?
Like, let it out
But
just
then
a
I'm like,
little.
all right, I'm giving myself this time and I gotta back it up
You're
a little
sitting
bit.
with your emotions, or
Yeah.
at least acknowledging them.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
also realizing that everyone has their own energy fields.
For sure.
And if someone's going through something, or they're just at a very, very, very low part, and then you're next to them, like you're gonna, at least I feel that,
Yeah.
and you have to protect your energy, but also try to be there and supportive for them.
For sure.
And I feel like energy fields and understanding how you feel is super important when it comes to spirituality, and I feel like it guides you.
Yeah.
It allows you to be like, oh yeah, you're not feeling good, so maybe
Yeah.
take some time to yourself
That's
and
true.
don't make yourself feel bad.
That's
you know?
true, that's true.
So like recharge.
I love
That's a
it.
big thing for me.
Both of y'all have such an amazing platform that you're building online. You're sharing your journey and your story constantly. How do you go about finding what kind of content to share? What kind of content you want to keep to yourself? Or is it kind of like an ever evolving journey a little bit with social media?
Content God right here.
I think about like what I wanted to see whenever I was like, scrolling as like a little 14-year-old. What did I want when I went and scrolled through social media? And that's kind of like how I go about it, just what I want to see in my youth, and that's kind of how I come up with new content ideas.
I think, and you show that, because it's like watching his videos, I'm like, dang, I would have loved this when I was younger.
Yeah.
Or at any age, honestly. For me, I post because I feel like I like those DMs where they say that I remind them of them, or they're like, I've never seen someone who looks like me until you, and then I'm like, well, I gotta post more,
Yeah.
Or
For sure.
like everybody's journey is different. Everybody's trans journey is different. Like in the early stages, I was like, I want that. I want to be just like that person.
Yeah.
So when I didn't get those outcomes, I was feeling hurt. I was feeling behind.
Yep.
Then I learned like your journey's different, and and your genes and genetics are different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think talking about that more on my platform, at least one person's gonna see it, and at least one person's gonna be like, let me stop being so hard on myself that I'm not there.
Yeah.
And just like be with my journey right now. Like
Yeah.
you miss out on your journey because you're not feeling satisfied with where you're at because of someone else.
Because of someone
but
else,
this
right.
is your journey.
Yeah.
So like sit with yourself, be present. And
Right.
I learned that, and so I'm like, okay, that was helpful for me. Let me teach that. Let me talk about that more, so
Fair.
they can see more people be like, oh, this is
Yeah.
everyone's saying sit with yourself. This is your own journey. Let me listen.
just
Let me
try
try.
it.
Let me try. See
it.
how
Why
it goes.
not? You know,
So
why?
that's why
Yeah.
I post. And then also I just like to post because I feel like I wish I had a TV show of myself where I could just like be me.
Yeah.
Like, and so Instagram is like, sometimes I'll have my very edited videos, and then sometimes I'll just be like, pop the
Popping
camera
it
on.
in.
I'm like, what's up, guys? It's
Yeah.
T-Shot Tuesday. I'm chilling.
I love
was
it.
late to work today. Like,
Yeah.
just whatever.
Well,
I'm a normal person.
I feel like I think that's also what social media has kind of turning into a little bit. I feel like when we started our platform 4.5, 5 years ago, it was like this beautifully aesthetic, perfect, picture perfect life, right? That people wanted to see. Now people are turning into like, I want to see you. I want to see this authenticity. I want to see what you believe in, where your core values are. What do you do when you're doing nothing at all, right? And people are like, I don't want to see all the makeup all the time and like all this stuff, right? So it's kind of cool to see that social media is kind of changing now to where it is showing these like miniature personal lives of people will come up to us on the street sometimes and be like, oh yeah, like I saw that you were making this coffee the other day. I was like, damn, you really pay attention.
Yeah.
Right? That's crazy.
It's nice.
It's
This
crazy.
personal mini raw series of your
Yeah.
life. And also I think we look like we're making people set their standards high because we look perfect, but really like if we post more of just on our regular chill days or even this podcast where now they're able to see like, oh, like don't put so much pressure on
For
yourself
sure.
to be like way up here. I'm a normal guy.
Yeah.
I go through things, like I post whatever. I'm very chill. I'm not like, I'm just regular.
Yeah,
I just want
yeah,
people
yeah.
to see that I'm a regular person doing regular things.
Oh,
with
absolutely. I
regular
mean,
friends.
we
like,
just talked about this before I think we started rolling, is like that all three of us deal with our own versions of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Like the things that people don't always see on Instagram are how I've recorded it 6 times. They
Yeah,
only just saw
yeah.
it the one time I didn't mess up. But I'll record it and I'll be like, oh, damn it, I stuttered. Let me do it again. Oh, damn it, the lighting wasn't good. Let me do it again. Oh, my hair. You know,
Like,
it's
take 7.
Yeah, you take
Y'all
7.
saw take
They
1,
saw
but-
right. But you didn't see me throw my phone
Yeah,
afterwards and
yeah.
everything, right? And then also just like feeling comfortable getting out of our skin is always something that you all said that like you're always doing as well,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like that was what this is for me, is just really trying to get comfortable like being unfiltered, right? Yeah, of course we can edit a little bit here and there, but I'm like, that is part of the things that I want to tell those stories. And
Yeah.
how do you combat imposter syndrome? How is that something that you're constantly working on?
I think I'm still working on
Yeah,
it.
I think I'm still
honestly.
working on
I think
it,
I'm like, I'm impostering right now.
Yeah, I think I'm still. oh gosh, no, I think I'm still working on it. I truly think that it's a forever learning experience
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
I think.
I think the more like I push myself to do things that give me that like this, the easier it becomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's like starts off perfect. I
Right,
guess.
right,
Like,
right.
the more you do it, the more normal you get.
Yeah.
To,
It's true, because you said this is your first podcast,
First
right?
podcast.
Okay.
I've had people ask me, but I'm like, oh no.
Oh,
and I think
no.
the whole like, you're an actor. Why can't you? It's like I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that I'm nervous, so
Right.
I'm gonna pass on this one.
Right, right.
But also, I think when you try things and you try it with people that you're comfortable
Yeah,
around, that's
absolutely.
a good first try.
Yeah.
So when you ask me, I'll say yes immediately because
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna be comfortable.
Right, right,
and,
right.
And they're gonna make me feel comfortable. So we got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
But yeah,
love that.
trying things outside of your comfort zone is good, and challenging yourself, and
sure.
even if it feels very awkward and weird, like it's not gonna always feel awkward and weird.
For
or
sure.
maybe it will, but like at least you're doing it. You know,
Yeah,
like I don't
yeah.
know,
One day,
you're here,
hopefully it
so
won't.
Right.
eventually we're gonna get out of that. But
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Do you, with social media, I know that there's like a lot of positives, a lot of negatives. Do you ever experience some backlash on social media?
yeah.
And how do you go about
This man.
protecting your mental health with that? Because that's something that I'm always learning. Any advice on that for anyone?
I have no idea. I've gotten so much shit on social media. I used to get bullied by other trans people on social media, actually. When I
Wow.
first started, doing the whole Instagram thing. But now it's just like random trolls that are just have their own opinions about a life
Right.
that they have no idea about. I don't know. I don't really take any of it seriously these days.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's so much. I'm getting like, on Facebook especially, I'm getting like hundreds of comments a day.
Facebook is the worst.
It's so bad.
Facebook is just like
it's terrible.
wrong demographic all the time.
Yeah.
I was
so
like,
bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
for
I
sure.
mean, I don't even read them half the time, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I just stopped reading them.
Yeah.
Instagram, like, I'll pay attention to, but Facebook, I don't even read, like, comments on
That's
Facebook.
good.
'cause they're just
Yeah, that's
shit.
good.
I didn't know about hate comments the way when I see what he goes through.
Yeah.
And first off, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
My heart.
Yeah.
And to see that he's just like, so what you want to eat today? I'm like, bro, what? Like, and I'm
Yeah.
not, and I think I'm enjoying not being like a very famous up there influencer and
Now
content
my
creator.
girlfriend's dealing with it. It's
Yeah, because it's like
terrible.
quiet
She's
on
like-
my side of town.
Yeah.
And I'll get like here and there, but it's nowhere where I know everybody else is experiencing. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm chill in my little calm area.
For sure.
It does make me post less and like do certain things, so I'm trying not to let it do that.
Yeah.
But I do see how he handles it and how he can just like either use it to make a video.
Yeah.
Which
That's
I
the
love
best
when
way
he
to
does
do it,
that
because then they
it's so
immediately delete
good.
the comment every
It's
time.
so
you
good.
can delete it. I screenshot it.
Yeah,
Or
right.
he just like keeps it moving.
It's the best whenever it's their full name too,
Yeah.
and you can directly find them on LinkedIn.
I love it.
Yeah, I've done it.
That was way too
I've
step
done
by
it.
step.
I was like, oh. No, I mean,
Yes.
same. I think that's the thing with our platform is, we talk a little bit about the things we go through, especially as we're stepping more into an activist space, more talking about like the political climate and everything. That we deal with backlash constantly. We receive death threats almost every day. Really terrible sexual assault comments all the time, DMs, and I think a lot of people don't recognize that. They don't realize to the extent of how bad some of these backlash comments can be. Yeah, most days, I'm like, most days I'm like, screw this guy. Like, they have no profile picture, and they have no, you know what I mean? They made a fake account so they can troll people, when I do truly believe that people who are most hateful are the ones carrying a lot of self-loathing, right? For whatever it is that they're going through. But other days that it hurts. There's certain days where I wake up, and again, I was saying before, like, I want to be sad, so I'll read hate. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? But then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to find him on LinkedIn, and I'm going to message his employer, and I'm going to get your ass fired.
I've messaged some dude's wife before, because I saw that he would like consistently comment like and try to get at these like little OnlyFans thread girlies. So I went to his Facebook and I found his wife, and then I showed her screenshots of him like literally like talking about how he wants to suck on some girl's toes, like all kinds of, I don't know, I've done some pretty bad shit too, though.
No, I mean, good.
Never went to LinkedIn though. I haven't gotten there yet.
Hey,
Good.
I go to the wives though.
You go to the wives. Hey, that's pretty good though. Direct connection to the personal lives. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
like, wow.
Yeah, I think that is the thing about social media. We're always promoting, like a genuine authenticity, right? And like, it's not always. I feel like there's a bug in here.
There is. He's
I know. I was
He's
literally
a
like,
part
I
of
see
it.
this. I need some
He's like,
mosquitoes.
whenever, let me know when it's my time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just chill
he's
up
like,
here.
right here. I want to talk about my journey. Mosquitoes, like.
That was good. He's still on his journey too. That was good.
I'm dead. No, I feel like that's the thing with social media. Is like we're trying to always share our journey, but like people don't realize that part of the journey is getting that backlash, and like that is unfortunately everybody does. Everyone gets backlash, whether you're on social media or not. But like it's amplified in a lot of ways. And like you said, now your partner's getting it, and it's hard to try to transition into content creation where you're being so publicly visible. That is inevitably eventually going to happen. And it's hard sometimes, like trying to protect your own mental health with that. We're always learning. Some days it's harder than others for sure. And I feel like right now with like everything going on politically, it's like amplified.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
people feel like it's okay to like say the bad things. I'm getting like such worse, like just what they're saying is bad. Like it's like I'm getting the same amount, but it's like the things that people are saying, it's much more vulgar now than it was like last year. Before January.
I was saying this to, I was on a friend's podcast recently, and I was talking about how when I came out years ago, I came out, and originally my family was very open. They were like, cool, like, that's fine. Like, I don't have a problem with it. But now, fast forward, being in Tennessee, they're like completely brainwashed by everything happening. And so now it's almost like re-coming out again because they are completely against everything that I represent and like completely have cut off from everything from who I am. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, it's actually wild, right? Like how so much has changed through this landscape of politics, right? Which is fascinating because I feel like people have to re-come out in a lot of ways. And a lot of people have lost friends, family, that they didn't realize that was maybe under the surface. And I don't know, it's interesting. I feel like these days right now are going to be studied psychologically. There's going to be a documentary, like a Netflix documentary watching about like all this shit going on, I want to tap into career because I feel like y'all both have such incredible careers that people might not even actually know the extent of. Like, you're an actor, you're an MC, like this is amazing. How did this go about? How did you start your acting career, and how has your transition also tapped into that?
Oh yeah, so I booked my first show in 2019.
Okay.
It's called Grand Army. It's on Netflix. That was and crazy enough, so I wasn't out about being trans. So my character, I played I was gay on there, and it was different. How they wrote it. Yeah, how they wrote it. that's how the character was. But when they met me, they're like, we're going to try to make this character more like you.
Okay.
But yeah, so it was new. A lot of my auditions, which I think why I wasn't booking anything is because they were all female roles, or like the very masked female, and I didn't know how to go about how I thought I felt inside, so I was like, let's just audition, and it wasn't. I mean, I was giving it my all, but it was never a connection.
Fair.
But as soon as I started, and of course I booked that, and I loved that. It was the best first show. I mean, I get to be on Netflix for my first show. That's grateful.
That's awesome.
But it just was first the reminder or like the confirmation that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Felt on top of the world, and I also like reached my dream job. So like everything else just feels like a plus.
Yeah.
And then I booked an animated character, and I played my first male role where his name was Vince on Dead End, and I loved that show because it was a lot of LGBTQ representation, and the main character was a trans guy, and that was awesome to be a part of. And it also was great to just like my family to see that and not know how they were going to feel and not care in a sense of I knew what the show was doing for people. And it was a kid show, and a lot of my friends' kids were watching it. And that was amazing because it was a subtle introduction into just our community without like feeling too pressured to teach your kids, but just let them like take what they take from it, you know? But after Dead End and after being able to play little guy Vince, I was like, hey, my agent and manager, this is who I am, this is what I am. And I'd like to only audition for male roles.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
And before starting T, it was very hard to sound like it. You know, I had my voice wasn't there, so my acting was there, but I didn't. My voice didn't match what they were looking for.
Yeah.
And I think starting my transition, feeling more like myself, feeling really good and proud before surgeries and everything, just like feeling happy and accepted. It allowed me to like bring everything to my auditions, and the voice change definitely helped me feel confident.
That's amazing.
And then it just kind of took off.
Like
and
rolling,
yeah,
right?
it just felt.
Well, it's also like you said, it's part of that journey, right? That all had to happen to get where it is now.
Exactly.
And like now the roles are almost like presenting themselves perfectly tailored,
feels
right?
really
Which is
good.
that's awesome. It's like again that universal energy thing, right?
So acting is that's my
cool.
everything.
Love it.
I've been on YouTube since I was like 12, and I did improv little videos as a 12-year-old, just mimicking voices. I would reenact Disney Channel scenes and That's So Raven and like all that. Like that was my thing, and I never knew I wanted to be an actor because I was playing basketball, but I knew I liked that.
Yeah.
And so content creation has always been in my life, and being a photographer for 10 plus years, like that's been it. But as far as like a career, being an actor I hope to do that for the rest of my life as long as I can.
But you're in the perfect city for it.
Yeah.
You're in the perfect spot.
I am. I'm
and,
grateful.
and you have a whole series, Tea Time, on your platform. Hey, can you share some more about that? And then also, I'd love to hear about your MC journey as well.
Yeah, for sure. I just, you know that song Meltdown by Travis Scott? It's like Tea Time, Tea Time, Tea Time. There's just one video that I made like a couple years ago, and that song, I put that song over it, and I was doing my shot in the video. And I thought, like, it's tea time. Like, it's, a moment for me to take my shot. Or maybe I want to have a conversation. Or maybe I want to, like, talk about something, kind of. So it's, like, basically just, like, a little thing, a space that I created to just talk about whatever it is that I wanted to talk about. Because it's my platform and it's my experience.
I love it.
And then that started to grow a little bit into, like, I guess more things. Like, I guess, I don't know, like, videography stuff. And, like, media production opportunities and stuff like that. And now it's kind of just going back to that little, my solo little series type thing. But I kind of just like, I don't know, have it there as just like a space for me to talk about things when I want to talk about them. But earlier last year, I started going out to West Hollywood a lot with Carter. To kind of like
that sounds like good stories.
Oh my
good
gosh.
stories.
He got in trouble by his voice coach because his voice
because
coach was...
I am not supposed. I had a speech therapist because I have voice box damage, and so I'm supposed to rest my voice 5 days out of the week. And we went out, and I was like, don't let me yell.
He would get in
Of course, they played the best music.
So you're like, yeah.
And then we told on ourselves because we're on Instagram,
Yeah.
posting videos, and I'm losing my voice in the moment. But best times of my life.
Yeah,
like
worth it.
those
Worth it.
We have
scenes
funny
where
videos of us like getting back to the crib after getting tacos. And
getting
we're both,
tacos,
like,
having a
trashed.
whole
Fire.
yeah, just
dancing in the living room, like
just having a good and just yeah.
I don't even know how to dance.
Because is that YouTube video out?
No.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I need to
It's
see
my
this.
favorite one though.
Now I need to see
Yeah,
this.
we just
I
turned it
know,
into
I
like
need
we
to.
just got tacos. It just created being in
really
WeHo
fun.
and you introducing me to that and then doing it with you, and just seeing like this man walks in and like I don't know if he even knows it, but like he can just literally like shine,
Yeah.
like, and then people just want him to talk, and he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I got to talk, like,
Yeah,
so you
really.
emceeing it just makes me so happy,
Oh,
like.
that's
Yeah, I was
good.
going out there because I wanted to make those connections and like do something because I wanted to do something off of social media.
Yeah.
And I felt like in West Hollywood, whether it be like I want to bartend or like work in the club somehow.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, you can't bartend. You got to bar back. I'm like, okay, how long do I have to bar back for? And they're like, at least 2 years. I'm like, no,
You're like, what?
I'm not gonna do that. You got me.
No.
Are you insane?
Like, is there a fast track
And
program?
they're like, so
or-
why don't you throw a party? And I was like, I can throw a party, but I can't pour drinks. Like,
Make it make
I've never
sense.
thrown a party in my life. I've made more Bloody Marys than I have ever thrown a party. You
Right.
know, like,
Okay.
okay
Yeah.
though, but I'll throw these parties. So yeah, I started throwing one party a month at Revolver, in West Hollywood, every third Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
And yeah, now I'm just like in the club, hyping them up. Sometimes, my girlfriend Lola will MC with me, and we'll do like a little
I love
duo
that.
trans MC moment.
Just so golden.
I know.
I
Wait,
just-
that's
I know.
amazing.
Now we're about to be emceeing. I have an MC gig in San Diego for some Pride event they have out there, and then another one in Vegas in August.
Oh,
And then
wow. Oh, so it's
DC
like moving
yeah,
too.
the DC people where they're also, I think Brandon's talking to, I think her name is Markia, about like what kind of MC opportunities I can do out there too. So it's
Amazing.
like kind of growing a little bit. I don't
Yeah.
even want to MC anymore, but it's like
It's
I'm
taking
getting
you to
more
different places.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Well, the good thing about it is it kind of can elevate itself in whatever direction you want. So like once you're emceeing, then you can prove, okay, well now I can do red carpet interviews, or now
yeah.
I can hype up
Literally,
like other
I am.
events. You know what I mean?
I don't know if that.
Yeah.
And like we talked about earlier, us getting out of our comfort zone. You
Even
doing
this,
that,
like,
prepared
you know.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I
Like,
feel
I'm terrified, but yeah, I got to. I'm
for
terrified
sure.
to do this, but here I am.
yeah.
You are.
No, me too. Like
Yeah.
I was telling y'all before, this is y'all are the third people to come on.
Yeah.
And I'm terrified, right? Like I'm like reading my notes before. I'm like, oh gosh, okay, like let me memorize these.
If we're all nervous together, then
Yeah,
we're all
that
good
motherfucker.
together.
yeah. And I think that that's part of the fun. I love just like throwing myself in there and just seeing what happens, because I also think, I mean, again, going back to the energy thing, is like if you really just put yourself out there, you really never know what doors are going to open and like what's going to come of it. Like you said, you were emceeing, and who would have known if you would have ever felt comfortable enough to get up, and now you're incredible. And
think
these
it's
are all
great. I
things
think
that
it's-
have aligned
Yeah,
to get you to that point.
I've been wanting
right?
to do something like within like GLAAD, like one of their freaking
Yeah.
media awards for so long.
So
Because I've been
sick.
in this industry for like years, and I feel like now I'm finally like, people are noticing me.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing something right now.
Yeah. No, actually,
But,
like
yeah.
it's the same. I mean, we've always wanted to be not only just advocates in the travel space, but I feel like when we recognize we traveled because we loved to travel. Like we
Yeah.
truly loved it. But when we started traveling, we didn't realize at the time when we started this platform that there were so many laws that are tied to it. And I was like, wait, I never even thought about that. You know, I didn't think about safety and holding my partner's hand in public, or just like being, you know, slightly more mask looking in different countries and how that plays off, right? And then that was what made me realize, I was like, oh wow, you know, there are queer people everywhere we go. There's people in the LGBTQ plus community everywhere we go. Doesn't matter if it's legal or not.
Yeah.
And that was where we're like, okay, I want to step into these spaces and I want to be at the table, having these conversations and hopefully moving the dial. Because at the end of the day, it's like, I always think about, okay, if we fast forward 70 years and we haven't done anything that brings people joy, then what's the point? You
Yeah.
know, what was the point of all of us having platforms and like having the opportunity to make real change?
Yeah.
So that's why I appreciate y'all and everything that y'all share, because I feel like y'all are really out here changing the world. And I don't say that lightly. I feel like people are watching your journey and seeing you on TV and seeing you doing live streams, and I feel like that is actually changing the world, which is really cool. So I don't even mean that in just a cliche way.
No.
I truly
It feels
mean that.
good when we hear that we're
Yeah.
doing something.
Yeah.
And we're making a positive impact. That
Yeah.
feels good because they may think we hear it all the time, but we don't. So the
Mm-hmm.
reassurance or the, hey, like that video that you made, like that really got me through. It's like,
Yeah.
dang.
When
Yeah.
the moms message me, it gets me.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
moms take me
love-
out.
Yeah.
fully.
When a mom messages
Well-
me about how they like, I told my son about this, or I showed my daughter this. It, like, just hits me right
Yeah.
Oh,
now.
I love
Like,
it.
yeah,
I
that's
love
my
it.
favorite.
I mean, I don't know if I told you, like, you know how I told you about my sister at the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
She's super straight, cis, white woman from the South. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she's just, loves the community because she loves me.
Mm-hmm.
And then now that she loves me and loves the community, she's just like branching out and seeing all these different
beautiful.
people. I just feel like that's awesome. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like those messages when you hear about that, it's like, wow, it's really cool. If you could change or have media adapt a little bit more to being better representative of trans the trans community, how would you wish that they could go about that?
I think putting us out there.
Yeah.
But like
not
even
just the bad stories.
Yeah, not just the bad stories.
Right.
Like
Because I feel like that's all there is just all bad stories, and
Yeah.
the people that you do know who are trans are people that were already in the media, you know,
Yeah.
before, and so I think trans people are not accurately represented in the media at all currently because it's just. I don't know. It's just
And then
not.
it allows-
it's not
Yeah.
as diverse as the media tries to make it seem.
For sure.
Agreed. And I feel like the more that we're represented in a way of like we're a problem or we're sick or something's wrong with us, then it makes the rest of the world think that and then not want anybody else to then transition.
Yeah.
So I think just allowing us to have a bigger platform to hear our stories or in like the acting world, like maybe let a trans actor play a trans character
Yeah.
and allow to bring their experience so that
Absolutely.
it's connected and felt more.
Yeah.
And just let us share our stories and show that although we go through a lot of things, look how many times we've laughed.
Yeah.
But like that's not shown.
Yeah.
Like, they must not be happy. Like
Yeah.
no, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
You know, I go through things, but I laugh. I have
Right.
a good time, and I feel loved and supported, and I eat food and go to games. Like I do normal things. I'm a normal person,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think
yeah.
just
It's just
normalizing us being normal.
one facet of
Yeah.
who you are as a human, right? It's just one part of your unique human identity, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not every part of you. And I feel like that is, what's so beautiful about sharing your story. If you could go back to your younger self, and as kind of one of these wrap-up questions, if you could go back to your younger self and give yourself a little piece of advice, a little pep talk, what would it be?
Oh, mine would just be like to hold on.
Yeah. Don't
'Cause
give
you don't
up.
don't give up. You don't
Yeah.
see this. I didn't see this. I didn't see this outcome. I didn't see
Yeah.
myself even meeting another trans guy. So I'd be like, yo, just hold on, just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And keep on loving on yourself.
Yeah. Even when it seems like you are the only person that you still got to keep going. Because, like I said, when I was being bullied by the people in my own community, like, when all I was doing was just putting my voice and my spirituality out there, it kind of felt like I genuinely didn't see this, and I gave up on, like, the things that I love doing for years just because I was afraid. And if I
Yeah.
didn't, I'm not saying I'm not where I'm supposed to be now, but I would have been in a different place now if I never gave up on myself back then. So, yeah.
And I don't know life without having him in my life. And
Oh, it was
knowing-
everything that happened was meant to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
For sure,
just
yeah.
hanging on, just allowing yourself to be the first person that loves you, like let that be the initial love and then accept everybody else's because we have to love ourselves. And
Period.
that wasn't me when I was younger. So just holding on and loving myself, that gets you a really long way.
No, I love that. I truly love that. I love that. All right, I have some funsy questions.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in a zombie apocalypse right now, what would be your role? Y'all are the only two
Bro.
people left. What role would you
I
play?
don't know, but I want to go out there and get all the guns and I want to go scavenge for stuff.
Scavenge?
Is that what they call it?
Yeah,
I wanna
like
go,
you're gonna go find
I
like
wanna
ammo
go
and
loot.
medicine.
Yeah.
Loot.
I feel like
be the
that,
leader.
and we go get food. I feel like
Where are you
before
gonna
we
get
start,
food?
we
It's a zombie
oh no,
apocalypse.
I'm thinking of a taco
I'm the-
truck.
okay.
Let's go get tacos first.
I'm like,
and
where's
then
the
figure it
taco
out.
truck? It's a zombie
Right,
apocalypse.
No, okay. I feel like I'll be too nice. Like, hey, bro, are you a
You can,
zombie?
you can cook. You can cook. I'll go loot the food. You cook the
I
food.
cook, and then I'll be like, hey,
Now
I feel
you're
like-
saying, hey, are you good? Are you in a
Because I
zombie?
feel like sometimes, because it could be like the zombie, right? This is my problem, is I'm so nice. I'd be like, hey, bro, like, let's talk about it for a second. Like, I got this taco, right?
This
food, like, does a
look,
lot.
I got you a taco too, and,
And
he's
then
like,
you come around, I'll distract him with my taco making, and then, you handle it. I'd be
yeah.
like,
I can't, I'm
okay.
dead.
I just feel like we're going to laugh so much in the worst scenarios. like we could be going like about to die, but we're like going and it laughing,
Right.
Because we just don't.
I guess
know
that's
how
a good
to
way to go.
Yeah.
I
At
mean,
least
Good food prepared
with
laughing.
tacos and laughter.
Yeah, I don't.
Laughter and tacos.
Yeah.
Tacos.
Honestly, that should just be the headline of this of this episode:
Oh my
laughter
God,
and
I'm gonna get
tacos.
tacos after this.
Damn, there is a
telling you.
taco truck across the street though.
There is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's fire too.
There's a-
All right, one more funsy question. If you were to switch lives for a day, what would you do? What would be like the first thing you would do?
I'd go find me. I'd go find you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then
I
I'd
don't
hang
know what the
out.
fuck.
Wait, that's the cutest thing I think I've ever heard.
I'd
in my
literally
whole
go
life.
find you
I
and then
don't
I'd
know.
hang out.
Yeah, like
like, I don't care what we do next. Like, I'm like, okay,
We
I'm
just sit
Dominic.
there
Let's go
and-
find Carter. We literally just
Can
sit,
I
like-
join? I want to.
Yeah, like,
okay,
just-
cool.
It'd be a regular day. We just swap, but we're still hanging out. Like that.
Wait, they're coming out with the new Freaky Friday. Did y'all hear
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, y'all can switch, and we can all go out and like watch a movie or something.
Yeah.
I'm down. Get tacos, watch a
That's-
movie, fight the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Done.
Awesome. My
Yeah.
Instagram is LOL Hi Dominic.
My Instagram is the letter C and then Nelson.
Perfect.
Projects.
Y'all are on TikTok too, or
Yeah.
you're on TikTok.
My TikTok's the same.
And my TikTok is it's C Nelson.
Ooh.
As far as projects, well, I can't say the name of the show, but I do have another show I was on that's coming out on BET. That's all I can say.
Okay.
And it's coming out this year, so I'm really excited.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for
Thanks for
coming to
having
hang
us.
out with me
Yeah.
today.
Thank
I feel
you.
like we just had like such a heart to heart, and I
This was a
just
good
appreciate
catch up
y'all so
before
much.
DC Pride.
Yeah, we're gonna have another reunion. That's crazy. Yeah,
that's
stay
wild.
tuned. There's
That's
a whole
wild.
other things to come. A lot of fun to come, but it'll be
This
fun.
was amazing.
Let's go, man.
We did that shit.
Oh my goodness.
That's a wrap on this episode of She Comes With Baggage. If you love this conversation, please make sure to follow She Comes With Baggage on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for more content and behind-the-scenes moments. And if you're turning into Spotify and Apple Podcasts or any other audio platform, don't forget to leave a review. I love hearing from you, and your support keeps these conversations going. And just remember, we all have more in common than we might realize. Until next time.